We interrupt what you're watching right now to bring you this exciting story.
It's the goods and it's the glory. 100 stripes, 100 stories. It's the pledge of allegiance on the 4th of July. It's some handwritten letters from home. It's some sleepless nights alone. It's his newborn baby he left with his wife. It's the red, white, and blue. Lay down, he's alive. It's the red, white, and blue. 40 stars and stripes. Hey. From the fields of Indiana to the swamps of Louisiana to the golden coast of California. Uncle Sam's the only family he's got. His purple heartbeat won't stop. And his 18th birthday was the day he was born. It's the red, white, and blue. Lay down, here's a light. It's the red, white, and blue. 40 stars and stripes. It's the red, white, and blue. Stand on the front line. It's the red, white, and blue. Pay the ultimate price. Oh. He was the man of wheels when he was born. His family is brown but torn. But if you knew him, you would understand. He was raised on a parade just to see the flags still wave. And then he came home with all he wanted. It's Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. All these stars and stripes. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Stand on these front lines. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. To pay the ultimate price. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. Lay down his life. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. 40 stars and stripes. March in line. March in line. Hey. Hey.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, good evening, Erie County. How is everybody doing today on this? It's actually a pretty nice day. A little muggy, but that's okay. It was still nice to get out and about and not have everything dripping, sweaty thingy. But yeah, appreciate you coming in. It's Wednesday night, our regular scheduled night. I'm scrolling a little message along the bottom. Sunday show, we will have the candidate for mayor on the Republican side. I don't think the Democrat would even show up even if I invited her. But yeah, so like I said, please join us Sunday at 7 p.m. At 7:15, we will have, I'll let you catch up, chat with Matthew Thomas. our Republican candidate for city of mayor. He was on the Joe Natale show today. He got some pretty good questions from Joel. I mean, it was a good show. He had the other candidates on, and they were, pushing stuff back and forth. What's your theory on this, that? Matthew had a really good point about crime, and of course, Joel, being the softy that he is, said, "Well, wait a minute. Chief Spinarzi says that the crime in the city of Erie is down, but here's the guy that prosecutes these cases." He's like, "Yeah, those numbers are wrong. I'm seeing more felonies coming across my desk, where our caseload is up, and it's just an issue of yes, talk about skewing some numbers." And again, I like the chief. I like the guy. I think he's a personable guy. He's done a great job with the Erie Police Department. Keeps them up the full complement. He gets them the equipment, but let's work on the numbers, and let's not make sure that we're just not playing political football just because. Not that I say which one I trust more, because I'm supposed to trust both of them. But here's the guy that's prosecuting the cases, and he's saying, yeah, no, the numbers are actually coming up. How late? When was the last time these numbers were updated? So, maybe the Chiefs numbers from last year's crime, and, nothing new this year. But Matthew's numbers are what is real-time data, meaning these are the cases that are coming across his desk, and he's prosecuting them. And he's like, and they're felonies. They're not just, little, funny little city ordinance issues. He goes, these are felonies. So it was a good interview on the Jill Natale show. I liked it. I don't particularly tune in all that often, only when they have like really good guests on. I don't really care about toe fungus and having an hour to talk about it. I know it's important, but Hi, Dave, you're live.
Good evening, Mr. Shank.
And how are you doing today, sir?
Oh, just peachy over here on the Lower East Side. Just peachy.
Yeah, I hear it's kind of crappy over there.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's sort of crappy and it's sort of stinky too. On this Lower East Side, it's not getting any better. Let's put it that way.
Trust me, your video is number 2 up on the queue. Oh, I'll have to give people a warning. If you just ate and you're a little squeamish, you might want to not watch this one, because this one's raw. And we put a little, Brenda put a little disclaimer across the actual act, so we don't offend anybody. So, keeping Erie classy.
But I just wish my lighting was better on my other camera.
It's okay.
It would have gave you a real good shot.
We get the essence of this heinous act.
You get the essence of it, right?
Yeah, and the viewers will do it. Kim, I sent it to her. She put it on her social media. Within a couple hours, she had over 500 views on that. So people are paying attention, and that was the whole point. It's not, the best video, but it sends the message of, Houston, we have a problem, and just keep kicking the can and keep electing the same people over and over again isn't working, people.
Exactly.
It isn't working. 65 years of it is not working. And, we have, and here, we've got a Republican, I wish him all the luck, but the odds are against him. But we never know, because the Democrat approval rating across the country is 19%, and Trump's up in the 80s. So I don't know, man. I can't call it.
Yeah. Well, other than that, I noticed I seen the mayor today. He was at the Take Back the Site.
Oh, yes, I saw
over
that.
there on 27th and German, and I noticed all the people there. They all had their fist up in the air. It sort of brought me back to the old city council meetings when you had Fist Up Faulkner. Her first council meeting when she got sworn in. She and her compadres in the audience, they all put their fist up in the air. Now I don't know what that means. I'm gonna have to look that up on the internet.
But power to the people. That came
Yeah,
out. That
power
came,
to the people.
yeah. That, if I'm not mistaken, it came out of the back in the Black Panthers used that. They had the fist in the
Yeah.
air. Yeah, power to the people.
Surely not my people, that's for sure. But
Well, but at least they didn't. At least the sisters didn't use the word murder like they originally did in one of them, which it's not a murder yet. We got to do the due process because we love to hear Democrats love to scream due process when it comes to illegals, but when it's our own citizens that they don't like, oh no,
right.
nope, just get the gallows out and let's just get this done. No, it's
Yeah, that
called
was
yeah.
yeah, that was I guess the nuns are the ones that they do those take back the sites deals.
Oh
And
yeah.
I remember my buddy on the old Jim LaKorchik show used to have his it was the Jim LaKorchik and Randy Brewer, my old
Oh
buddy
yeah.
Randy Brewer. He used to call them the nuns from Mount St. Bolshevik. That was his name with them. I fell off
Yeah.
the chair a couple of times when he always mentioned them. I'm going back a ways now.
Oh yeah, Dave LaKorchek. It was funny when I was doing the show and the Joe Natale show. I had some callers come to there. Hey Brian, we remind you of Dave LaKorchek, and I'm like, I'm honored. I am not him, but thank you for the compliment.
Yeah.
Nobody can fill those big loafers, but I'm just saying it's just an issue of that's an honor when someone says, hey, your style and your mannerisms and how you talk straight and you don't bullshit it around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I said, well, thanks, man. That's a privilege, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. A
Yeah.
little more radical on those take back the sites. One more thing, I noticed that some other people I've noticed on the on social media, there a couple people were commenting on. Actually, it was a person that called the Natale show today. I think it was today or yesterday. I can't really remember anymore. I can't remember what I had for dinner tonight. But anyways, about these fire hydrants on the Lower East Side of town, which I brought to your attention a long time ago.
Yes, we talked about this.
And they put those flags up, and these people, the one that it's pretty close to my crib, it was totally bent over. I mean, totally. There was no fire department that had to bend it to access the fire hydrant. Not like this was bent over.
Well,
totally bent over. These are kids running around, or whoever's doing it. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're mostly all over here on the Lower East Side. They must get kicks on destroying stuff like that. That's another point.
Yeah.
Keeping Erie classy.
Keep it Erie classy.
I just wonder how much they paid for those, flags.
Yeah. Well, that it's we can dig around and find out, but the city probably paid like $500 per flag because how the government works.
Stainless steel. I'm sure they're stainless.
The springs are stainless. The poles are fiberglass. That's how they are out here.
No, those poles aren't fiberglass.
Oh, the ones we have out here are fiberglass.
Oh no, these are in the city. They're solid stainless.
Oh wow.
Well, I'm assuming they're stainless. They're metal all the way through.
Which I'm shocked that someone hasn't stolen to scrap them. Oops.
And the flags are. I think they're made out of plastic, red plastic, I believe.
Yeah, the ones we have here is a big chrome spring, and it has a piece of fiberglass for the antenna, like you would buy for the end of your driveway. So,
now see that? Now that might be a better deal because they can't bend them.
Well, see what we talked about this. What we do is we bend the spring over and we stick it in the ground because it gets in the way when we're trying to turn the wrenches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we bend them out of our way, but when we're done, we release them so we can find them in the snow, and that's the whole purpose of them is to find them in the snow. But leave it to the city of Erie.
The purpose of it is
screw everything up and ruin everything. I'm surprised they haven't stolen them and scrapped them for God's sake.
But anyways, that's about it here on the Lower East Side. It's all I got. Oh, by the way, the bank. That's also getting some. I've noticed on social media getting some play.
Oh, really?
About nothing going on over at that place. Yeah, nothing going on.
Yeah, I know. I have an account at Erie Bank, so maybe I should wander down that way just to walk in the place and ask for a balance on my checking account that I have there at Erie Bank.
Yeah, it'd be a good idea.
Then you can photograph me. Look at Shank is in the hood.
Yeah. All right then, Brian. I'm gonna
Thanks.
wrap this up.
All right. Thanks for your live report from the Lower East Side, my friend. And
All righty. Have a good one.
stay frosty.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, those things they're great inventions. They came up with them out here in this neck of the woods. They're just a metal spring and a piece of fiberglass, so we can find them in the snow because nobody. Well, I shouldn't say nobody. A lot of people don't dig them out, so we can at least find them because we have them on a map. But that's hard in the middle of a blizzard when you can pull up and say, "Oh, well, there's a fire hydrant here somewhere. We can dig it out at least." And then the problem is we have to. I have a new ringtone. Can you tell? Rob Zombie. Hi, Kim. You're live.
Well, good evening, everybody.
How are we doing?
We are doing well. I'm sorry I was late. I was on a Zoom call with Senator McCormick.
Oh, well, look at how she just lays that out on the desk. Oh, I'm sorry I'm late, but I was on the phone with the senator.
Well, it wasn't just me. It wasn't just me. But I've gotten about 20 messages asking why I was not on the Joe Natale show today. And Brian, I'll let you explain that one.
Well, I mean, there's some tactics behind it. I mean, there's the word unity that's supposed to come into play. Am I saying there's some riffs? No. Am I saying there's maybe some character that don't mesh well together? I mean, I get that, and it's just an issue of I think the four of you would have said one message, but then they had their message. And I think their message is totally different than what your message is. The things they talked about are things that you've never even brought up. I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to sit here and
Right.
tear their interview apart on my perspective. But there were some things that were said that were basically just redundant issues. That have been looked at. And sometimes a new set of eyes is a good idea. Having some fresh eyes on everything is a good idea. But let's make sure you're not spinning your tires and doing the same thing over and over again. They talked about Matthew talked about all the nonprofits in the city of Erie, and he had a great point. Why a lot of these are absolutely redundant entities that are gobbling up commercial land, commercial buildings, and they're taking properties off the tax rosters, putting it on the back of the little guy, and that's what's happening in the city of Erie. They are losing their tax base. The nonprofits are gobbling everything up, and the mayor's there at the ribbon cutting of all these nonprofits, and that's great. They're here to help people, but how many nonprofits can a city that's dying need? Okay. That says two messages. They need more services because the people are losing their jobs, yada, yada, yada. But I get that. But then you're losing your tax base. And
Exactly.
that goes on to the little guy and gals that are struggling to pay their taxes and their water bill and their rain fee, blah, blah, blah. And so, just make sure you have a clear message, have your bullet points ready. They presented well. Joe Natale did a nice job interviewing. There was no real curveball, hard balls. I'm setting you up to get you. So I mean, it was a good thing, and I liked it when Matthew kind of pushed back on Joel, said your numbers are wrong. Oh, those are from the chief.
I
don't care.
was jumping up and down on that. I was jumping up
Yeah.
and down on that, Brian.
Yeah.
Especially since you and I have been accused of skewing our numbers since we did the Red Hats event.
Right. Yeah, because we go in there and be a little disruptive for half an hour, then we're labeled troublemakers, but then you get 2 hours of people screaming at city council on something they have zero control over, saying the same thing. We got it. I was trying to watch it, but then it's like the same thing over and over and over again. I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm wasted enough time on this.
Did it give you memories of Project Neptune?
Oh, well, yeah, there were some parallels, about, people were, this is a hot ticket item and people are putting their heart and souls into these. But, at least, with a shooting, it's a shooting and a
Right.
loss of a life. Now we have to get through the process. We have to get through the investigation, and we will. The truth shall set you free. But Neptune is their opinion, because it was an anti-Davis push that they didn't want to give him any wins, or any good projects that actually brings people down to the city, down to the library, put a couple bucks in the pockets so we can reinvest money in there. Well, you guys were spending money. Well, yeah, they said we have a little bit of startup money. We gave them some, ARPA funded money, and boom, it was a drop in the bucket compared to what Gannon is, and it's going to be a win-win-win for the city. And I will be there at the ribbon cutting. I will sit there and go watch the fishies and all the demonstrations that they're going to do
and
for
I
us.
cannot wait. I cannot wait for that projector thing in the center of it. It's going to be wonderful.
State-of-the-art presentations by almost a holographic display that you sit around and it'll display in the air, and you'll see, videos from under the water and the research and stuff. No, we just, I hate to steal Breton's tagline, Erie doing Erie stuff. Well, it's
Oh.
not working. Stop it.
And imagine the kids that are homeschooled. What an asset this is for their parents.
Oh yeah, it'll bring people down to the library. Yeah, they had to sacrifice a little bit of the back part of the library and part of the loading dock, and whoop-de-doo.
Well, it's nothing. You and I were down there to do that interview. It was nothing.
You can't even tell. You can't even tell they rearranged the library, and because they had a wall there, and well, that was just the research area. The day we went in there with Gannon to did a couple of the walkthroughs, there's 5 people on those on the computers, and there's 20, 30 computers. So it's just an issue of rearranging, relocate your assets, and move forward.
Right, exactly. Well, I did talk about, I want to talk about a few of the things that were brought up today. They brought up shipbuilding. That's a great idea. And yes, Erie used to be known for shipbuilding, but you have to look at where we are today. We do not have the manufacturers who can do shipbuilding anymore. Even the big companies we have, you'd have to go in there and retool these companies. You'd have to train people to do it. So, realistically, it's not feasible unless a new company wanted to come in. And then again, you need the trained employees. But we can most definitely get contracts to build some of the parts for these with Don John, with Erie Gears and so forth. And I think this was something I was talking about a year ago.
And I get that, and that's why I listened to it. I'm not going to sit there and rip them apart.
Right.
I'm not going to do that.
It's something that I did ask Senator McCormick about, I think 2 months ago, and I did talk to Senator Laughlin about this, and it's something that is going on in the works. So I didn't want to let people know about that, and we do feel, we've got 3 major universities here. And we hate the fact that we're educating these kids and they're moving on because there is no jobs. In the last year, with the Democrat control, we lost 8,000 jobs.
Right.
And that is a whole lot. And you think about if you lose 8,000 jobs and each of those is attached to, let's say, a family of 3, you lost 2,000, you've lost 2,400 people, 24,000 people.
And Matthew went through the numbers and showing how this is a slowly dying entity, and within 10 years, how low the numbers will be. And if we don't, we should have stopped it 10 years ago. But Erie just kicks the can down the road, and I'm Mayor Joe, I'm going to change direction. No, you just went and cut some more ribbons and painted the streets with LGBTQ paint. Have a nice day.
Right.
That doesn't.
We are in, Trump is into all this new energy, and you think about energy and water. So we are making a plan that will bring in more jobs and stuff. Can't go into a lot of detail at this point, but we are aware of this situation, and we've been working on this, since January. So, there is a lot of things going on, and we will get further in depth on those. But, I can't really, they're not my projects alone. So I can't really let the cat out of the bag on those. But we realize these are serious, serious problems. But on the good point, We have some great stuff coming up. We have the parade on Saturday.
Yes, the Dan Rice Days. That is a huge, huge event and a huge parade. And I mean, even if you're not from that area, it's amazing. The whole downtown just turns into like Funville. So
Oh,
yeah,
it's great, and I like what they do down there, on all their lampposts. They put up all the pictures of past and present servicemen, and maybe that's where we should be putting these flags instead of on hydrants, make them a little bit higher so the kiddies can't reach them. So, that's just one idea. But yeah, if anybody wants to come out and participate with us, we would love to see you there. Lineup is at the Girard High School. We will be there at 10. If anybody wants to donate candy, we appreciate it, which reminds me, either you or I have to go out and see Mark and pick up the Tootsie Rolls.
I think Brenda did that today.
Oh, Brenda is awesome.
Yes.
So we have that going on. And then next weekend we have the Italian Festival. So that should be a blast. And I don't know if there's any vets out there. I did get, and I'm sure you got an email from that says I think there's only 100 tickets left for this Friday for what was it, Zoo Fest Erie?
Yes.
From 6 to 9.
Yeah, it should be a good
And
time.
so,
Hope the weather holds. The weather's just been really wonky this summer.
Wonky, but hot. So I'm not going to complain about that at all. But, that's some fun stuff that we have coming up. We have Tall Ships coming up, the 21st of August. So we will be down there and celebrate Erie is on the 15th. So, we want to see everybody out there. I talked to Scott Pressler, I think yesterday, right, Brian?
Yes.
Yes. He said we're getting so close, guys. And I agree with Matthew. The numbers are not reflected right now. Okay. We were 6,000 away. Then we're 5,000. We're now at like 4,700 away from matching the Democrats on mail-in ballots. So evidently people are going out there and doing it. I know, it can't be just me and Brian and Donna, so, what I say is if you guys can go out and get at least 2 people to register for mail-in ballot, please try and do that. Just reassure them this is an insurance policy for your vote. Your vote does count. It's important to us. These little elections, Craig Pepper lost by 11 votes when
Something
she
like
ran.
That, yeah.
When she ran for state treasurer against Bob Casey. So, I mean, these really, really, really are important. Just tell them, it doesn't mean you have to use it. If you decide you want to go and vote on election day, you can take that with you and surrender it and still vote in person. It's your insurance because you never know what life is going to throw at you.
Weather. Never, ever, ever count on the weather. Like Kim said, that's a great point. You can apply for one. You can receive it, fill it out. Don't mail it in. You can take it down. If you want to go vote in person, you surrender it, you vote in person. So you're covering your bases. And all we are is one snowstorm, one hailstorm, one attack of locusts away from a catastrophe at the polls because the majority of the Republicans vote in person. And I appreciate that. Please keep on doing it. But we have a tendency to be fair weather voters. And that is not, you're gambling our future on if the weather's nice today, or it's too bad, or I don't want to stand outside or something.
Right.
Request one, get it, fill it out, don't mail it in, or you can just, if you want to go down to if you don't trust the post office, I don't want my post guys mad at me, or you could go down and turn it in right to the nice ladies in the voter elections.
Drop it in the Dropbox. Drop it off in the Dropbox. That Dropbox, when Brian was in charge, he made sure that thing is secure. It's got a camera on and everything. So I feel very secure using the Dropbox, or even better, now they gave us a third tool. We can go vote in early person. Go vote early in person right there, and you're handing it to the ladies. They give you a ballot right then and there. I love doing that way now because I can go down there and talk to ladies, see what's going on, kind of get a feel for what's been happening and stuff. And I think you did it a couple times that way too, if I'm not mistaken, Brian.
I've done it the last couple of times. It's nice to go down there and see Miss Fernandez and the ladies in the office there. They appreciate you coming in and, bring them a little treat or something, boy, they really appreciate it instead of getting yelled at because they are civil
Absolutely.
servants and they get yelled at sometimes when the paperwork isn't right, but it's not their fault. So,
Yeah, and
the
remember the last time they had a raise when Brian was in office. So I mean, yeah, be a little bit patient with them. Be a little bit kind. You always get farther with honey than you do with vinegar.
right.
But yeah, we really got to win this election, guys, because remember, Jasmine Flores has already said people are going to get mad, but we are going to have to increase those property taxes. So, if you're not going to vote for anything else, vote no against the property tax increase, because I'm telling you now, guys, I will not vote for an increase in your taxes. I give you my word on that. It's not going to happen. And I believe Erie Events should take over the zoo, and so we don't lose our zoo. And like I said, we can all work together to make Erie great again. I truly believe that. And on that note, I'm going to go. And Brian and Brenda, thank you for all you do. I love you both so much.
All right. Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Kim. Appreciate it. Appreciate everything you do. Good luck. We'll talk. We talk every day. If you see on my microphone, I got a little patch here. This is called a vest patch. People talk about the roar to shore. We want to bring it back and everything. Unfortunately, it can't come back. The Pontillo family said no. It's in the will. It can't be. So roar to shore is gone. It had multiple issues, and then unfortunately, Ralph Pontillo passed away. These are the patches that we had made up and put on our vest. I had an extra one, so I'm trying to clip different things on my microphone, not just political, because Ralph Pontillo put his heart and soul in the roar on the shore, and it just really sucks. Sorry that it won't come back, and it was they were going to pull it, they saved it, Ralph died, and unfortunately it's gone. So they had a little motorcycle ride in the city of Erie. I saw some Facebook live videos, and unfortunately it failed miserably. Well, State Street is a disaster. So they didn't even drive down State Street. They started on the west side of town, came through the Bayfront connector where it's not tore up, came into Liberty Park, and there was nobody there. So for the charity, that sucks, but the message was clear. The motorcycle clubs are not supporting the city of Erie because what they did to Roar on the Shore. On that happy note, Brenda, what do you got for a video?
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The Declaration of Independence proclaims God-given rights, and we intend to protect them. Working with people like you for over 50 years, preserving freedom and building a better tomorrow. Safeguarding the Constitution by limiting government power. We are restoring liberties, educating voters, and leading the freedom movement. Join with us. United, we will defend our rights. We are all Americans. We are the John Birch Society.
Again, they're going to be with us. They're huge supporters of the show. We share the same philosophies about God and country and the Constitution, and all those buzzwords that the other side of the aisle hates. That's okay, because when I go to bed at night, I have a clear conscience. Now, the next video is Dave's video. If you just ate and you are a little squeamish, maybe you might want to not watch. But again, like I said, this is an actual visual representation of the crap that's going on in the city of Erie. But there's no audio. Relax. It's Dave on patrol. Foot patrol. I warned you. Wait for it. If this offended you, I apologize. If it hurts your feelings, I apologize. This stuff needs to be brought to our attention. It needs to be exposed. This is what's going on in the city of Erie. This is how disrespectful people have become in the city of Erie because the mayor ties the hands of the police to where they can't really enforce these smaller infractions. They talked about this on the Joe Natale show on how the presence of the code enforcement is almost non-existent until it started to become election time. Oh my God, we better start enforcing this stuff and cleaning this town up. Too little, too late. So again, sorry if it offended you. I apologize, but I don't, because this is the stuff that will never make the news. It'll never make anywhere else other than the people that aren't afraid to step up and say, this is what's going on in the city of Erie. This is the reason why it needs changed. This is the reason and the ramifications of having Democrat after Democrat after Democrat controlled city that doesn't care other than their pet projects. If it's not their pet project, they could care less. They could care less. Where you have the majority of the city voting. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. That's wrong. You have the minority of the numbers of the city of Erie actually getting out and vote, controlling the majority of the city because they figured it out. We haven't figured it out yet, boys and girls. It takes literally a couple thousand people to control an election in the city of Erie. That's it. Look what happened in New York City. 9% came out and voted and got some whack job, terrorist, socialist, communist, whatever, all the isms as the Democrat. He's only been a citizen for 7 years, and he rams against rich people. Rich people, we need to spread the wealth around, but he walks around with unlimited funding because his parents are filthy rich. But then he looks down the nose at the little people and say, we're going to redistribute that wealth. Excuse me, are you going to take it from your parents and redistribute that wealth? If that's the case, you should have been doing it already to set the example that, oh, you're rich, your family's got money. Well, I think mom and dad, we need to give that to the poor people. And I bet you they told him to go pound salt. Now, Lance asked me last week if my traffic light lit up. It does light up. See, Lance, you asked for it, you got it. I don't, because it throws the cameras off, and it's hard to see the colors. Because those are like 5-watt LED bulbs. That's the lowest watt little bulb I can find without having to rewire the whole thing. It throws the cameras off. So I don't play it. I don't turn it on, but you asked. So there you go. They do work. Yeah. Stan, the California. Oh yeah. This video that I saw it, Brenda grabbed it. This is the mentality of, this is a good example of the mentality of the left. This is absolutely what they think. And that's why they are going into these. And we talked about this. We talked this a year ago that if Trump was going to win, which we knew, this is exactly what the Democrats would do. This is exactly the propaganda, the lies, the deceptions, and the misinformation, the gaslighting. It's just like Chuck Schumer and a Dollar Tree Obama with all his lies that the economy's doing bad, the inflation's bad. What country are you talking about? We have a video about we just had another big milestone with a good deal with India. Hashtag we just keep winning. So Brenda, play that video of this whack job, and this is what the left really thinks is going on in this country. And if it's going on, someone show it to me, please. Video, please.
He's got these concentration camps everywhere. And I expect to be taken to one as a resistor.
So you're thinking maybe you will get picked up by immigration and customs enforcement. You called it a concentration camp.
Right.
Do you think they're just exterminating these people that are going there? What are your thoughts?
I believe that is the next step when they get so many. They're talking how many millions? Tens of millions, right? What are they going to do with them? And maybe they'll push them out into alligator Auschwitz. You know, they don't have to take care of burying the bodies.
Alligator Auschwitz. I'm not a creative writer. I can't sit down and write a story of like Star Wars or a movie or something. I don't have those creative juices. I don't even, on a good day, could come up with writing that scenario because it's so ludicrous that it's insanity. That is walking, talking, breathing insanity, that they really think this is what the Trump administration's doing. Do you honestly think the military would stand by and the corralling of U.S. citizens because they're resistors? The last time I remember, a resistor is in a transistor radio. I don't know. But again, they walk amongst us, they breathe amongst us, they breed amongst us. That's why we have this crazy shooting in New York. And the police officer, I meant to grab a video. This police officer was killed. What an amazing story. Came to this country legally, became a U.S. citizen legally, became a New York City police officer. And he gave the ultimate sacrifice for his country. His country, because he followed the rules and became a citizen, and not like the other police department that just got busted for hiring a guy that came to this country illegally. They made him a cop. I'm like, I can't make this stuff up, people. These people walk amongst us. They breathe amongst us. It is absolutely, the left is a herd animal. Slaves waiting for the next meal. None of them think for themselves. You know what? I'm going to put that on. Where is that? I'm going to put that on the big screen because you're absolutely right, and that's why they're mad that we have taken all this free stuff from them, because now they're going to have to do, what's that word? There's a word I'm looking for. Work. They have to go work. Oh, did you already have that up? I'm sorry. I was looking and clicking at the same time. Yeah, the left is a herd animal. They are slaves waiting for their next meal. None of them think for themselves. Well, you're right. But then the propaganda machine, the puppet masters, sit around and figure out, okay, what's the new trigger word today? What can we do to rattle the cages of the people that they'll run on social media? The new one is Trump's a pedophile. Where did that come from? What? You mean because the courts won't release the Epstein files? He's on the Epstein file. The left. Oh yeah, Trump's on there. If his name was on that list, the Biden administration would have proudly marched it out there in front of the news cameras. So I think the Democrats rattle the cage. Oh, we want it. But the Democrat-controlled judges that we have don't want it out. And now Chuck Schumer is doing a power play with the Senate to force them to do it. And that way the judge goes, oh, see, I have no choice. They out legally maneuvered me. And there we go. Ridiculous. Now, this is some breaking news. Brenda brought this up. She's like, hey, I just found this. This is some good news stuff. Veterans, pay attention. If you know any veterans that are struggling right now, really pay attention. Find this video clip, show it to them. Let's keep this story alive because this is a game changer. Brenda?
Thrilled to sign the VA Home Loan Program Reform Act into law, and that is something that they've wanted to do for a long time. This legislation provides desperately needed relief to veterans and their families who have fallen behind on their mortgages. of which there are a lot, because we have somebody that doesn't want to lower interest rates and probably won't lower them today. It's a really sort of an amazing situation. And it helps keep our promise to end veterans' homelessness, and we're going to do that for America. An estimated 61,000 American veterans are in danger of losing their homes, as you know. But thanks to this bill, the Department of Veterans Affairs will be empowered to pay loan holders the necessary amount to prevent foreclosures on our veterans, so our veterans won't be foreclosed and put out onto the streets. It's very important. This bill also creates a 5-year partial claim program that could benefit up to 3.7 million veterans. That's the kind of numbers you're talking about. It's big stuff.
Talk about a game changer. Again, breaking news. It just came out. Brenda caught it. And, and that's what we try to do. We want to bring you stories that are relevant, stories that are cutting edge. This one was just a couple hours old when Brenda was working on it and getting it loaded up into Restream. So, I mean, these are game changers. And, of course, Trump doesn't do anything for the people. He doesn't care. He's all in it for the money. He doesn't take a paycheck. He didn't take a paycheck last time he was president. Doesn't take a paycheck this time as president. But he's all in it for the money. No, let's talk about the AOC that was boo-hooing, years ago. I can't afford an apartment in D.C. Now she's worth millions in a couple years. I want that gig. I want to become a millionaire in just a couple years. But these people sell their souls to the devil for that money, and it's just whatever. I'd rather be just humbly okay than have to deal with that. And she got on a little hot water. Remember that white dress she had, Tax the Rich? She got a campaign finance fine for that, or ethics violation fine, because the monies she collected for all that, she didn't declare. Oops-a-daisy, got a hand slap. But you know what? They make the rules, and the rules are only enforced by them against them. So it wasn't catastrophic. But again, it's just the start. Brenda, video.
President Donald Trump says India will pay a tariff of 25% starting on Friday. In a post on Truth Social, he wrote, "While India is our friend, we have done relatively little business with them because their tariffs are far too high." Trump also suggesting he would add an additional penalty due to India buying Russian oil.
Well. We went from a trade deficit to a trade, holy crap, we're making money. Because if I know we talked about this, but just to refresh people's memories, that's how our government, when it was established, actually paid for the government. They collected tariffs on products coming in. Genius idea. Let's let the other guy pay for it. But then again, it got a little wonky. The world's a different place than it was when our forefathers put together the Constitution and created a nation. Yeah, I get that. But then, stand there like, well, he had bone spurs and well, listen, guess what? 30% of the American population suffer from bone spurs, and it ends a lot of people's military career. Joe Biden had 5 deferments, so he didn't have to go to Vietnam. Unfortunately, President Trump was medically discharged, but Joe Biden was on the swim team, but had asthma. I'm not a doctor, and I don't play one on TV. That doesn't make sense. 5 deferments, so he didn't have to go. But that's how the rich played. Bill Clinton took college deferment, so he didn't have to go. But Trump gets medically discharged. Oh, he's a draft dodger. Well, you know what? You might really want to look in the mirror with the guy who, I'll be nice, Sniffy Joe. The next video, Brenda, are you going to take this one? I think this is your story.
Yeah, I can take it.
I got to sneeze first. So hang on a second. Woo! All right. It's
Bless you.
All you.
Some might say excessive.
Now, I play this video because some of you know that I've been having problems with my car. And so I took it over to a garage by the name of Jerry Butts Auto. They put it on the scanner, found out what the problem was, said that I needed my camshaft replaced along with the sprocket, the sensors, and the solenoids. And when I went to pick it up, I asked them if they changed the timing chain, seeing as they had to take the timing chain off anyway. And they said, no, the timing chain is good. The very next day, my check engine light came on again. So I took it back to Jerry Butts Auto, and they said, well, we don't know what else is wrong with it. You're going to have to take it over to Enormous Mobile Specialties because it's an electrical issue. Well, fortunately, Brian and I are friends with the owner of Enormous, and I called him, and he said, absolutely, that is not an electrical issue. Take it up to the Kia dealer. So, of course, I did. And this is the good timing chain that Kia found, and they gave me the video of.
Here,
So,
play it again.
Some might say excessive.
just pulling it into the garage at Kia, it jumped the timing. That's how bad my car was running. So beware of the garages. Get a second opinion and don't take it to Jerry Butts. I went back there with this video and they swore up and down that my timing chain was good, and that was not what it looked like.
Yeah, because it magically gets that bad in 2 weeks or something. I'm not a mechanic. I just play one on TV. But there you go. This is not my testimony. That's Brenda's testimony, because she had to deal with all the car issues. And it's just be very careful when you're dealing with garages. And these new cars are just getting tougher and tougher for the small garages. And I get that. And she originally was going to take it to Kia originally, but it was like a month and a half wait to get it in there. And she's like, I got to get this fixed now. I need my car. Well, then it was just one problem after another problem after another problem. And, they got tired of it. We'll take it to Enormous and, Lou's like, no, this is not an electrical problem. Not at all. No way. Nuh-uh. And Lou and his guys were absolutely positively correct. They were the only ones that really caught this right, except for the guys at Kia. They got it right. So, yeah, be careful. Video, please.
Moments ago, former Vice President Kamala Harris will not run for California governor next year, leaving open the possibility that she could mount a third run for the White House in 2028. She said in a statement, over the last 6 months, I have spent time reflecting on this moment in our nation's history and the best way for me to continue fighting for the American people and advancing values and ideals I hold dear. I've given serious thought to asking the people of California for the privilege to serve as their governor. I love this state, its people, and its promise. It's my home. But after deep reflection, I've decided that I will not run for governor in this election. Patrick.
Well, people were like excited that she's not going to run for governor in California. And I was reading some feeds on this. They're like, yay. I said, trust me, they will find another knucklehead Democrat to run for governor in California. There's a couple sharp Republicans. The one guy's what Orange County sheriff. I can't remember which sheriff's department he's the sheriff of, but he's running. The people of California better wake up. I mean, it's just like, Erie and California, these Democrats have run. They both have taken money. California, when Newsom took over, had a surplus of money. Not anymore. He's got a deficit. The whole train fiasco, the high-speed train. And if you really want to dig into that story, don't believe me, dig into the story. Pelosi's family bought up a lot of property. They knew this was coming. They knew this railroad was coming. They brought up property cheap because they knew this high-speed train was coming. And guess who they turned around and sold it to? the federal government and the state of California, and they paid top dollar for it, and they still haven't got 1 mile of track down, not 1 mile. And thank you, President Trump, for pulling the federal funds from this issue. This was going to happen in Erie County. When I was on county council, we had the folks that wanted to build a rail system from Erie to Pittsburgh. So you could just jump on a train, go down to Pittsburgh. Great idea. Horrible timing. Right after COVID. Maybe it started in the middle of COVID. They were really trying to lobby hard to put our tax dollars, Pennsylvania tax dollars, into a rail system to go from Erie to Pittsburgh. And they're like, well, could you give us some money? Well, the money we give you on Erie County Council is no way even going to buy a light bulb for one of these trains. I mean, it's just it's literally a drop in the bucket. Well, then they came out and said, well, we could really use some seed money to help us by advertising to push this train deal from Erie to Pittsburgh. Nope, voted it down. They allocated like $1 million of COVID-19 relief or ARPA funding. Originally supported it. After I thought about it, I said no. I said no. I'm not supporting. This is $1 million, and we've got homeless veterans. We got homeless people. We've got shitty roads. Why would we support a Hail Mary project like a train from Erie to Pittsburgh? Hang on one second. Shut that right down, and a couple of the people that were really pushing this project, they looked at me like deer in the headlights. Said I voted no. I said I just couldn't vote. I get the trains. I said when I was in Germany, we rode the trains all over the place. Amazing train system. The train system in the United States sucks. Amtrak subsidized. If it wasn't subsidized, it'd have been shut down years ago. So again, voted no. Same project, same philosophy. Spend more money and waste tax dollars. Yeah. So, video, please.
Moments ago, former Vice President Kamala Harris will not run for California governor next year, leaving open the possibility that she could mount a third run for the White House in 2028. She said in a statement, over the last 6 months, I have spent time reflecting on this moment in our nation's history and the best way for me to continue fighting for the American people in advance.
Oops. I think we were
sorry about that. Wrong video.
It's okay, dear. If that's the worst that happens, it's a good day. So it looks like
let's get to it. The viral brawl, and we do want to warn you. We've shown this a graphic video coming in from Cincinnati. Police looking for the people involved in the violent street brawl. A video of the fight showing this crowd. Look at this kicking, and you see a man getting punched, woman getting knocked down. So getting a lot of look at that, getting a lot of attention.
This is the Cincinnati Jazz
correspondent
Fest.
Rich McHugh live at Cincinnati, looking into it for us, and he joins us now. I know police have identified some suspects. Is that right, Rich? In the video.
Absolutely, Connell. So the chief of police calls it cruel and absolutely unacceptable. I also spoke with the president, Ken Kober. He's the president of the Fraternal Order of Police here in Cincy. He says tells me they've identified at least 6 of the people in that video, and obviously they've identified the victims as well. We talked about the video. He said when you look at the video, the police have been working round the clock to identify everybody in that video, and he's confident they will. You can see a crowd of people attacking at least 2 males on the ground in the footage. You see a man, a white male. We do not know his identity. He's hit repeatedly, falls to the ground. A group continues to assault the man while he lies on the ground. He tries to get up, falls again, disoriented. You can hear people cheering throughout this.
Time, we have victims and suspects identified, and we have charged 5 people in this offense. I'm not going to release that information to you. I will say, if individuals were down there and participated in this event, it would be in their best interest to come turn themselves in at one of our police districts. We have 5 we have charged, and anticipate more. Were some of these individuals overserved at some local establishments? It is clear to us that alcohol played a part, a significant part, in this incident. For us to have 100 or so people down there involved in and or watching this event, recording with their cell phones, and for us to get only one phone call of this incident is unacceptable in this city. One person did the right thing and called 911.
Now, I'm going to stop the video right here. I want you guys and gals to take a second and read this. I want you to read this once. I want you to read it twice. I want you to read it a third time. I want it to sink in crystal clear what's really going on here. Go ahead. I'll sit back. I'll be quiet. Now, pay attention to the highlighted area here. Yeah. She's grateful for the beatdown by a black mob against white people at a jazz festival. She is a council member and president. Unbelievable. We get a lot of, you people are racist. You people are nothing but hate. Your party are Nazis. I'm sorry. I don't remember any of this happening at Grade 8 Tuesdays when the majority of the people there are white. And I don't remember that happening. But here, a jazz festival, and this person of color, council person, is promoting this. A mob against white people. Unbelievable. But we're the bad guys. We don't make this stuff, but people, and this again, we bring this stuff to you. Sometimes it sucks. Sometimes it's raw. Sometimes it makes you go, I just want to throw up, because this is the stuff that's going around all around us at any given time throughout. This is Cincinnati, Ohio, right across the border. You don't think that would be coming from Ohio? You don't hear boo out of Ohio. You really don't. That was a little drippy tonight. Sorry about the allergies. Allergies drive me crazy this time of year. It's everywhere, and it's not us. It's not them. We're forgetting it's us. We're here together. We're stuck here together. There's nothing more we can do until we go to someplace else, or go upstairs, or go downstairs. Just say, we have to do better. We have to be better human beings. We really do. I mean, this stuff is getting ridiculous. A guy drives from Vegas to New York with an AR-15. The news said an M4, which an M4 is a military Generation 4 weapon. It's automatic. This guy did not have an M4. It's a felony to own. I doubt he actually had an M4. But again, the media has to, and our new little terrorist Democrat wannabe mayor oil candidate, of course, we need to ban assault rifles. Well, yeah, because when your little terrorist buddies come in, we won't be able to defend ourselves. Where did that happen? That happened somewhere else. Where was that place? Oh yeah, it's called Germany. When the real Nazis took over the country and took all the weapons away so the people couldn't defend themselves. Yeah, be right back. Gotta close the chicken coop door. Well, again, I think that's going to bring us to, that's the last video. I don't see anything on deck. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight. It's our Wednesday night little get together. A lot of things going on. Yeah, Cincinnati has a Jasmine too. That's cute. Well, I don't think she had the eyebrows though. Jasmine's supposed to be an attorney, but I don't see that. It's funny. You haven't seen anything from her. I think the Democrats like shh, 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 like like Mr. Kennedy says, just let them speak. Let them speak, people, because the more they speak, the dumber they get. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this thing up. Thank you all for coming out. We greatly appreciate it. Wednesday night, Brenda, she went out to make sure the chicken coop doors were closed. I think she should give me a text when she's back. But no, it's dark out, and the chickens don't see very well in the dark, so you have to make sure the doors are closed to make sure that no critters get in there and have chicken nuggets for a late night snack, because that's what they do, unfortunately. But yeah, other than that, I think it was a great show. Thanks for coming out. Great conversation, great comments. We have our boots on the ground reporters from the east side and the west side of Erie. Again, if that video was a little yucky, sorry. Again, bringing it to you raw. This is what's going on all around us. It just doesn't make the news. It doesn't make the local talk shows because we have to talk about toe fungus or something important. Whatever. Again, thanks. I'm going to click on the outro video. Boop.
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I'd work for all my life, and I had to start again with just my children and my wife. Thank my lucky stars to be living here today, 'cause the flag still stands for freedom, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. Sing it! God bless the USA. From the lakes of Minnesota to the hills of Tennessee, across the plains of Texas, from sea to shining sea, from Detroit down to Houston, and New York to LA, where there's pride in every American heart, and it's time we stand and say, I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA. Proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the
All right, everybody. Thanks for coming out this Wednesday night. Again, we thank you all. We appreciate you all. A special thank you to Brenda for everything she does to make the show. We want to thank Dave for his videos. Sometimes they are awesome, and other times they're even more awesome. So he puts these videos together for us, and we appreciate his time. We appreciate them calling in, and we appreciate you guys showing up on a Wednesday night to share their evening with us. So again, I salute you, Shank. out. Did I say thank you, Brenda? I think I said Brenda. Yeah, thanks, Brenda, for everything she does to make everything the magic happen. If not, I'd be sitting here